mean, wow, this is so good. Why did we stop doing this, right? Because it's not cost effective for bulk. But, yeah. What do they have? Like, Noel.
Yeah.
His honey. Do you have any of it? Oh, dude.
I just had breakfast with him today.
I'm like this. I get somebody to figure out. So like, what's in there? I'm like, oh, that's still bee parts. This is the original bee puke from the bee mouth.
Do you buy that from him?
Yeah.
He's working at Mirabel now.
Is he
teaching bee classes?
He
quit his job to do that.
He quit the wine gig for that? Wow.
Because he's working 3 days a week, 4 hours a day, making
the same amount of money. Good for him. He is a hell of a wine rep, though.
Yeah.
I mean, he really knows his stuff.
Oh yeah, it's big time.
I used to let you come to my place and he'd be like, hey, want to taste some wine? I'm like, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. Hell yeah, I do.
Yeah. He's still doing wine. He's gonna be doing one wine. What's cool about the wine classes out there is that he's the wine rep.
How are you all today?
Sure. You can just talk. Well, I was just having like he could come to me and be like, dude, I gotta make like 6 cases of this so I can go to like, Peru or something. And they'd be like, all right, fine.
Right.
Like, I don't even care what it tastes. Give me a case. I mean, great. So.
Yeah, he's bringing honey.
Yeah, I still have like 2 gallons of that honey from there. I mean, it never goes bad. So I'm like, it's at my house. Like, so good, right?
We used, I did one of the earlier events I did this a few years ago. Pigs and honey. Ryan Clark was doing honey.
Yes.
And he did a whole day. He did that like Kaja China. And then we just don't for that.
I had lunch today at 5 Points, and I've been down there a few times.
Good.
I don't know who's cooking, but that was so fresh, man. I mean,
They're using all farm fresh ingredients.
it was killer. Like the whole plate was like, man, I had the it's killer, right?
That caprese sandwich we were doing, vegetarian.
The whole thing was like, I felt like every single ingredient on the plate was just bursting. I was like, how are they doing this here? Like this feels like kind of just a cafe.
Oh, you can't eat beef. What is it about beef?
There's a protein they call alpha galco. Same thing they put in Beano, which it's very similar to the spine. Develop an autoimmune. It's called the alpha gal. I didn't know. I couldn't figure out.
Oh, good. Yeah, it's just one I had seen before and it wouldn't have popped up. It's more
So I started keeping food there.
Yeah, it's exactly. So they have done that.
I tried grass-fed. I went to Dickens and got coach. I had a coach.
I wasn't sure how I got on.
Like everything I get my hands on.
Random things.
Yeah, I think I had more fun than
Yeah. A bunch of Texas County, because it's all over the Texas.
Well, proper is a little bit.
Possibly, yeah.
They're a lot more expensive. I mean, 5 Points is like $11 or something that you would pay. $25 a plate from California.
Yeah, and I wasn't sure if both of those.
You know that the food is good at a place at that location when you pull up and there's a Porsche Cayenne hybrid parked on the street. You're like, wait a minute, this does not belong here. One of these things is not like the other, right?
I don't get over there much. The time markets. That's one thing.
I'm always kind of in Tucson. I was a classic guy, and I love Kingfisher today. I never get tired of it. Like, they just do it right, and they've been doing it forever. Their smoked house smoked ruby trout. Have you guys ever had it?
Yeah.
God, it's like summer in your face. It's amazing. And the fact that back when I could eat burgers, the fact they grind their own hamburger in the kitchen.
Zimberger does that.
Twice. Because once is not enough. Don't even bother to do it.
It's not enough, actually. In fact, I got a job there, and so as a manager, one of the first things they have to do is grind up beef. And so, I mean, like, seriously, the side of beef comes in, you gotta cut it, and then things like it's not ground up enough. It's got to run through again.
Wow.
Every day. Every morning. Yeah. Well, that's what it's called. But Time Market is one of my favorites. Like, they changed their whole thing. They have a bunch of bread in town if you want, but if you I was there this morning. So they changed their pizza dough recipe. Everything was like top notch. And they just rolled out. It's always pisses me off because they have this awesome kale salad. It's, too much. And like, I go in there, I want a slice of pizza and salad, I don't want to spend
Yeah.
$15 on it. So I go down to half, so you get a slice and then.
How recently
did they change?
It's kind of a Zen lunch there.
Yeah, how recently did they change the
Slice and a half,
pizza?
Oh, 2 years ago maybe?
Oh,
What is it?
Yeah, I've been to since.
So the internet is a little.
Dicey. Did you try the other one, the Blue Span collab?
I'm at Blue Span Wi-Fi.
Try the regular collab one, just collab in the password workspace, it's up there. What's up? All right.
It is. Someone
trying to float?
Ours has been sketchy all day.
It's yours too, so it's the whole building then.
Did you guys have the power issues too? There was power surge like 2 days. Yeah.
Power surge?
Totally knocked on.
Oh, you don't want to grab one.
Our, those are out. Like, you have guys that come over.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, I remember.
Let's leave that, guys.
Around.
Yeah.
You know, Rob's not here anymore.
You go through one.
I heard that today.
He hung out a lot. Every time I walked in.
For a business, yeah, we have owners, that's where they headquarters at.
Can someone pull up Jerome's email address? The other.
Or not, you know. I still don't really have that. It's right here on the.
So this one here?
Jerome at nativeinnovation.com. Jerome at nativeinnovation.com.
So for us, we sell something we did in there, so they try to run an experiment. Well, I was before and I had an experiment. You interview on.
These are the generational challenges I face at the workplace. There's a giant jar of tulips up there. I said, hey, Courtney, what song am I? Oh, and she said, I don't know, what, street? I'm like, this is the tulips, Tiny Tim, Johnny Carson Show, look it up. What is that? You young whippersnappers. Tiny Tim was on Johnny Carson, all these before I was born, and I still.
I was thinking that I said something like niece was too yesterday, and I was like, that's a reference she's not gonna get. And I'm thinking, well, my husband life.
You know what it is? We were forced to adapt to boomer culture of the survival tactics.
That's true.
Like,
It's just sheer.
Gen X, there's not enough of us, and they were in their peak, and they're just like, you're a bunch of slackers. We're like, but we'll learn about your culture, please give us jobs.
That's right.
Like,
We are,
I'm uploading a new active syllabus to the shared folder because there's already been a bunch of changes because people have canceled stuff and whatever.
Were you here?
So I'm gonna try to give you a more active representation of some of those.
Yes.
So I have a.
Oh,
We need to,
yeah.
feedback about your feedback forms, where it says what was the name of the workshop.
Yes.
So that we can get feedback. I often do not know what the name
Yeah.
of the workshop.
I didn't either.
In that moment.
That's true.
If you just write it on the
Up there?
board or tell
Yes.
us what it is.
Oh,
we
good
want
point.
To actually give you feedback.
Excellent feedback.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Well, tonight we're gonna be doing a workshop around experimentation. So we're gonna shift from what we're gonna teach to really focus on this experimentation that we learned about on Saturday. And the goal is that if we can do an hour, great. If we can't, it'll take a full 2 hours. Everybody will leave here with what experiment they're going to run this week. Exactly, and how.
So 125 above, right? Is this related to what we talked about?
On Saturday, yes.
Grab mine up.
It's okay. Did you hear me concentrating on this? I wasn't. I took away a lot of good stuff.
Yeah. I'm trying to focus on being here right now.
Okay.
Did they give you, how do they connect with you? I'll show you an email or something.
So experimentation.
Oh, no, you know, I'll text you.
Story. Tell me a story. I was in a meeting with a client who's brought me back on board. It's a company I used to work with. They brought me back on board just a few hours a week to help with some management, project management.
All right.
And they have a big software launch that they're trying to roll out. And there was this kind of serious conversation of we didn't raise any outside investment. We haven't raised any yet. It means it all has to be self-funded. Do we take path A where we push really hard and get this thing live, or do we take path B where we limp along and just kind of do what we can, or do we take path C where we, what was the third option? It was like put up this beta site that only runs in this one place. Like all of these options are very expensive. Which one? Because now we have to put our own money on the line in the short term. Which one do we take? And my response was, you don't take any of them. And they're like, what do you mean? And I drew the crucial, not crucial, known, unknown cross on the board. And I said, well, is that people actually want to use this software platform who are in this market segment. So let's just put up a page and ask them for an email address to get an early beta invite and see if anyone gives a shit. Because if they don't care enough to give me an email address, there's no point in us spending thousands of dollars adapting the software, right? And they'll kind of look at me like, oh, there's a cheaper way to move forward, right? It was like one of those aha moments from like, hey, the stuff we teach in class actually works if you just apply it correctly. So we put up all these assumptions and then we work back like quadrants, tested these unknown things, and we're comfortable putting more money into the product. More importantly, if we go to investors and say, look, we already have 1,000 people in the beta test email list who want to be on board, that reduces the risk and shows that there's traction and validation for the investors. So it helps us move along on two fronts, and I don't have to spend a single hour developer time. I can go test the validity before I invest any resources. So that's the point of this, is to reduce the cost of failure to something super cheap and super quick, right? So you can test things. So tonight, we're going to break up into a couple of groups. Did you end up getting him on board?
He's listening.
He's listening. We're going to break up into a couple of groups. And we're going to go and talk about the experiment that you're thinking about running. We're going to walk through exactly how you're going to run it, what you're testing, how you got to that point with this assumption, right? And you're going to walk out of here tonight with, this is the experiment we're running, how we're running it, when it will be done, so you've got stuff for Saturday. Right? Because if I leave it, people want to get to it, because it's a lot of, right? And you're going to walk out of here tonight with, no. That was handed out on Saturday. I have a copy for you here.
That's what happens when you don't come on Saturday.
I was here in spirit. I was here in spirit.
Yeah. So, Jerome, can you hear?
Yeah, I'm here.
I like the crosshairs though, I can deal with that.
Yep. Okay, so really quickly, let's before we got a couple people who weren't able to make it on Saturday. You were both learning about government. Well, one was teaching, one was learning about government contracting. So, who wants to give us a quick review of what they understand about Saturday? Who gets it? Adam, go.
Really quickly come up with some assumptions about on post-it notes with a marker so that you're not scribbling out endless amounts of writing, really simple ideas about your big ideas. So like customers will pay money, pay $350 for a metal cutter. That would be like one post-it note if that was an assumption. Simple as that.
So population X will engage in behavior Y. Merchants will sign up for this software platform beta test if I target them with marketing, right? For giving emails. So there's several different types of tests in these experiments, and we didn't go over the full list of tests. Justin, do you have those somewhere? Types of tests?
No, I mean, yes, I have.
So one is people will pay for it, right? Because that concern is a dry wallet, which is you ask them to pay, and then before they actually pay, you say, you know what? Testing right now. When we sell, we'll sell to you, but I don't want your money right now. You make sure they're going to take their wallet out and offer to pay. Okay. One was called imposter judo, which is that you just go, if you're testing, like in the case of Smith & Dale, they're testing a product that would be education, training around fundraising. They would go find something that's similar, wrap their logo around it, and try to sell it to people. and see if they would buy it. And if they would buy it, they've got validation for their product that's similar, right? They say, you know what, we're working on a slight variation of this, but here's another product. Requiring people to take a difficult action. So the assumption might be, let's say you've got an easy one that you're assuming people will pay a premium for a different service. But a high hurdle might be, if you'd like to take my life coaching class, you just need to be here on Saturday night from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. It's a high hurdle. If people are showing up for a free class, 7 p.m. to 11 p.m., they want that information, right? Because it's something that's difficult for people to do. So you can do a lot of these different experiences. The goal is to do them fast, simple. The most common one in the tech space is landing pages. You build a page that sells a product. You go out and market the page. All people are doing is signing up for early access or a beta test or whatever, and they can collect email addresses. If you collect an email address, you got some interest. If you can get a credit card number and we won't charge your card until you give us permission, you've got a lot of interest, right? And somewhere in between it might be tell us 5 of your friends, or give us your Uncle Harry's phone number, or whatever. Things that have some value intrinsically in an information economy. So their tests, the key is to differentiate between what people tell you, which is customer interviews. They'll tell you one thing, right? Which is, yeah, I would love to buy a product like that. The interviews to the interviews plus the experimentation, right? So you don't confuse interest with demand. Okay. So,
I'm sorry.
Yes. Make sure it just stays in here, okay?
Right.
Because he charges. Yeah.
Yeah.
But just keep in mind that he charges a lot of money for that.
Yeah, don't share.
Okay? Well, it'd be great if we could just share it like the proselytizers that we are.
Yeah, that's one of our
Yeah.
assumptions is that people won't steal our ideas and share them. That's down here in this corner.
Yeah. Well, I know.
Usually it's a lot more work to steal. If you make it, here's the thing. If you take, for example, and this is something we have very quick, this is a pricing model discussion, but Kindle books. People will pay $1.99, $2.99 for a book. They won't pay $10 for an ebook, right? And if you think about how much time it takes an author to write a novel, months, sometimes a year or more, you're getting $2.99 for a year worth of someone's work, a copy of it, right? But then when they come out with music and they're like, no, it's $10 for the album or it's $12 for the album. It's not worth that to some people. That's why you have this piracy that takes place because you've got this disparity in what things are worth, right? When you try to charge 10 or 12 bucks for the Kindle book, it starts to break down. When you charge 20, it breaks down even more, right? So the big publishers like that, $25 for the Kindle book. People are like, no, it's worth $2.99, right? The market's already set. 99 cents a track. People buy tracks, they don't buy albums, right?
Well, that was one of the things we were talking about today. Actually, when we're thinking about setting that first price point, kind of sets the.
And if you're the first person to market, you can play that game a lot more. If there's already 5 competitors, the price is probably already set. The market has made a determination.
But we're way cooler than that, so we're thinking.
Well, to validate that first.
As long as you're
We're gonna test that theory.
assumption one, we're way cooler than our competitors. Okay, so Justin, you're working on slides?
Yep.
So what we want to do is break it up into a couple of groups and have you go around and the whole group's going to spend 5 minutes kind of working on an experiment for each person. And by the end of that, we should have your experiments pretty well lined out what you're going to do and how we're going to execute that, right? A little brainstorming, a little support, a little consulting. Justin and I'll split up into each of the groups. Okay. Again, quickly as to the why before we split. This is the really meaty part of what transforms businesses, is the customer interviewing, the lean canvas, and then experimentation. It's also this and that, but the real powerful stuff is this. It's the hardest work to do. It's the most frustrating. It's going to be the most cognitively difficult, and it's going to yield the biggest results for your company. Is experimentation and lean canvas. So because we kind of got a little bit shortened on Saturday, I think actually next go, we're talking about making that a full day Saturday, 4 hours to do that process. We want to make sure that we're not skipping over, working through the meat of getting these first experiments done, because it's extremely valuable, and we see lots of wins out of this, big wins, okay, for other companies that have come through in the past. So that's why we've shifted tonight to focus on this. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a split to 5.
Why?
Yes.
Can we do the same business?
Yeah. I suppose if you want to work together.
You should, well, no, we want you together.
Yeah.
This is your real thing.
Yeah.
So you guys don't want to be different.
No, I was going to split you up. So you got 10 companies total?
11.
You kept 10, 11 companies. Okay.
The sixth one stays here.
All right. We can't exactly move Jerome easily. Jerome, you got to stay down here with me, man.
I know, man.
I know, man. Oh, it works. I was worried about audio.
It works fine.
It works fine. It sounds really good, actually.
More on down. Stay with me.
It's like I'm right there.
Right there. Well, I think he's going to need everybody kind of visual down here, so you may want to
Just split the group.
Yeah, I'll take the ones down there and go up there.
Okay.
You keep the people down here.
All right, because the way the camera's pointed.
Yeah.
Got it. All right. You're with me. You're with Justin.
Actually, one of the things I'm going to try and do, since we're going to do this, he can't see you, but what I discovered.
Yeah.
See that group? All right. All use people on the ends. I'm looking up into the.
Hey, use guys. Ready? Who wants to start?
I got
Who has an idea for the experiment?
I got my experiment up.
You've got it up.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're doing.
Anybody else farther ahead than that? All right. So Adam, walk us through your assumption, what experiment you decided on, and what you did to get it up, and let's get some feedback from this group on what they think.
Yeah, well, I'm big money making. Going with, you know, how fast we were iterating. So like I just came up with the idea that people want daily dining suggestions. And do you want to hear all the assumptions about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, at least a few of them, the most important ones.
Okay. So the hypothesis was if we offer daily dining suggestions via email or text, 60 to 70% of people who see that will opt in for the suggestions.
Okay, so if you offer it, you're assuming 60 to 70%.
That might be a low assumption.
That might be a high assumption.
It could be low. So,
Out of what population? What's the target?
Just do something to readership.
60% adoption.
Or, you know, I'm sorry, of people that would see the post.
Okay.
Opt in. So the experiment would be just a landing page and drive traffic to it organically and
Organically from the people.
it as well.
What would be the over-under that you'd say, well, there's not enough interest? How long would it have to go before you'd say there's no reason?
If I didn't get signups
Percent?
based on reach, if I didn't get, I don't know, I guess if I didn't have, if 100 people saw it and I didn't get 10 signups.
So if you're below 10%, you'd be worried.
Yeah.
Okay. Feedback on that.
No, I can't experiment with text opt-ins at this point. I'm not set up to do
That's
that.
fine.
Customer segment, 30-something, foodies, tech savvy, no kids. Why no kids? I just tend to see that more often when I'm out talking to
Who wants to
people.
take kids or this
Yeah.
restaurant?
You want to get away from the kids.
Yeah, that's true.
I totally get it.
And by that point, you're too broke.
Yeah.
The problem is not enough fresh ideas about where to eat. The solution, you heard that. Okay, so I guess I can go over some of these. The known customers need fresh suggestions for eating out. That's a known crucial, mostly known. Customers don't want to decide and prefer to be told. That's a maybe not, no, that's like in the middle of the known, unknown spectrum, but crucial, more on the crucial side. customers are interested in specific meal suggestions, like lunch versus dinner, a specific meal at a certain place. So don't just tell me to go to, street taco. Tell me what I need to get there. And if I should go there for lunch or dinner. Restaurants, and so this is an experiment that I can't do right away. This assumption. Restaurants and food service businesses would pay to be included as a featured restaurant in these emails.
Well, you could.
Just if there's proof of concept right away, you go to.
You could go to restaurants and you could say, I'm about to launch this. Without even knowing the traffic, the initial purchase is $10 for a mention.
Okay.
It's low, really low bear, but they're willing to pay for it, right?
Yeah.
And I won't even put your ad in until I have at least 1,000 people signed up.
Yeah, sure.
Would you be willing?
I can do that easily.
Will you take out your checkbook? And then when he goes, we're not there yet. Let me get the 1,000 first. Dry wallet test. You could test that now. And my question would be, if you're not going to monetize it, why would you build it anyway?
Yeah, well, that's.
Is it paid? Paid ad?
Well, when he said that, well, the idea is to monetize it, but when Aaron was saying, I said, do you want to include the monetization earlier at this early of the stage? And he was like, it seemed like he wasn't so concerned with it.
Yeah, I get that. I just wonder if, I'm trying to back down. Here's the question. If you were never going to make any money off this, would you build it if people wanted it?
No.
Okay, so that's really the more crucial assumption, is that restaurants will pay.
Huh. Yeah.
Because if they won't pay, there's no reason to find out if people like it or not.
Unless the suggestions are so good that people would pay for the text opt-ins or something.
Could be.
Test if they even dig it. My idea, what I'm thinking is test it to see if people are into it first.
Yeah.
And then work on trying to sell it to the restaurants.
Or people.
Restaurants
first.
I would run those
Is it
tests
just a
simultaneously.
suggestion or is it a night out?
Okay.
What is it?
With
Because you can talk
restaurants.
to the restaurants
Yeah.
quickly, right?
Yeah.
You say, look, this is what I'm about to launch. Would it be worth $10 per 1,000 views for you to get featured in this?
Sure.
Would you pay for that? Or can I sign you up today?
They'd also yes, but I could do that test.
If they all say yes, you validate it.
Yeah.
You say, I'm not going to sign you up, but I am going to give you a spot for free when I launch, just for taking the time.
Okay, I can do that. Another assumption was customers want or need multiple suggestions for each meal. Another assumption, customers stick to a specific price bracket when dining. That's less crucial, I think, for this. And customers want a deal. I think that's known, not crucial though, because you can incorporate some kind of a deal into these things with their restaurants for paying to be featured in this.
Sure.
So that's what I've got.
Okay.
Then I built a page on Tucson Foodie. All the copies there. There's a special sign-up list that I created in MailChimp and a graphic. And I haven't pushed it out to anybody yet, but it's published. It's out there.
So one of the challenges that we always are going to run into in these kind of tests is that the majority of the test is the value proposition to the customer. Like, is it really there? Do they care about it? Is the pain real? But there's a portion of it that is the way I describe it or the way I pitched it, right? So we always figure if we see something go wrong right off the bat, we might want to test another way to sell it, right? A/B split test it, write another piece of copy, try another page, right? See if it improves at all.
Yeah.
And if you run 3 pages and they're all converting like crap, well, then you probably don't have a good match. Either you're terrible at marketing,
Yeah.
and you try that out, or you just don't have a good product, right? So
Yeah. And then you can test obviously the post that you're driving traffic to the page with. Maybe there's no one.
yeah, maybe you get the wrong audience. You're filtering the wrong audience.
Yeah.
So how are you building your list for your audience?
That list specifically, I will promote directly first through Facebook, and then loaded posts on Facebook and maybe Twitter, and I guess I could do some AdWords. I don't know if I will with AdWords. I'll probably just do a quick test on Facebook.
Okay.
It's up and ready to go. I mean, I feel pretty good about the copy. It's not test this out. A special group of food fanatics. So I'll do that through our email list. And I mean, I could get signups just on the email list and be kind of done with it. 50 people signed up like that.
Yeah. I'm just curious, though, the only assumption I'm curious about is that it sounds like your list are all sort of foodie people.
Sure. Yeah. But what does that mean? I mean, like, what is that?
I mean, I like, can you do, like, I was learning a lot about the AdWords last week, but can you do like a search on like where people shop or like, I don't know. A lot of people, like me, for example, we have kids, but I'm a foodie, we eat out often, but I don't know that I would opt into something like, or I think I would opt into something like that, but I didn't know about it, and I don't know if I would be on your target.
Maybe you would, maybe you wouldn't, I don't know. Right, at this point, I mean, it's just trying to see if there's interest at all. And then, I don't know,
Interest through your site right now.
The way,
And you're saying you're not connected to a site, so you wouldn't be able to opt
I
in.
guess that makes sense, though. You're targeting your actual market instead of a bigger market.
yeah, and the targeting on Facebook is it's not super well known of how if I say a food person in this zip code, nobody really knows exactly what that means. I mean, they've done some stuff on the internet that has to do with it.
Yeah, I didn't know if you could like look up, like, they bought, like.
So it's interesting, is
wine over
Facebook's
$30 a
tracking pixels for their Facebook open graph.
Yeah.
Follow you on the internet, record every site you go to,
Yeah.
whether you're logged in or logged out. So they know, they have a pretty good index of what you're doing. You log out of Facebook, they're still following you. They're still recording. But then they snapshot that entire database every 10 minutes permanently.
Who does?
It's Facebook. There will be some presidential candidate in the future who will get shut down because of Facebook, I guarantee you. You went to what site? Mistake for me.
Mistakes were made. So I target a lot of stuff. So in addition, but the thing is, if the core audience is going to be people, 25 to 35, I'm already excluding people.
Yeah. You could also run an offer through Facebook and then use the ad to get people, optimize to get people to sign up for your offer and see what Facebook does. It might change the demographic on you when you see the response. Might give you a new population.
You're not still targeting that based on.
You're doing some targeting, but they're going to maximize the people they think are going to take the offer out of your subcategory. So you could just pick Tucson and then run an offer-based ad and then see what the demographics are who sign up, because it'll give you new demographics to go after. Right?
Number must around.
Because Facebook will use its algorithm prediction to figure out who's going to sign up.
Okay.
Facebook and Google and Amazon had a baby.
And now Google lets you upload an email list.
Yes, Facebook is too.
Well, Facebook always has.
Yeah, but Google's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. All right, so who's next closest? Who's got their experiment designed? This powerhouse right here.
We're on it.
Go. Tell me all about it.
So we called a marketing consultant. No.
Step one.
So we decided,
Contract that.
so our offer is if we offer a free download as an incentive to purchase, to get into a landing page to buy a toolkit, the assumption is that people spend money on the product.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
No, can you say that one more time?
Sorry. If we offer a free download, like a PDF
Yeah.
or product, as an incentive to go to a landing page, the assumption is that they'll actually purchase a toolkit that's on that page, like get further information.
A certain percentage of the time.
Yeah, I was gonna say
10%.
percentage, yeah, 10%.
So if they get the free download from the landing page, you're
100
saying
people.
that 10%.
Send it to another landing page.
Well, 10% will complete a checkout on that.
Yeah.
Give you something
Right.
for compensation.
Mhm.
Okay.
So we came up with our hook, or the free download, which is like the 10 secrets to successful fundraising boards.
Mhm.
I think we're going to play with that language a little bit, to make it more. What was it we were saying?
Well, we were talking about, so looking at this through Facebook, finding people on Facebook in specific markets. We're looking at Albuquerque, San Diego, and Las Vegas, because they're easy to get to from Tucson, and if we ever end up with them as clients in consulting, if we can keep consulting. But looking at Facebook markets for fundraisers or nonprofits in those areas, and they would then, I don't know if we have, our marketing person is looking at the numbers of how many we think there's gonna be. But yeah, so we would address the pain first through the ad, the Google ads, and say, you know, are you about to get fired because you can't raise money or whatever, it probably won't be that extreme, but are you losing?
So you've got this, you said it's 10 ways to have.
Engage your board in fundraising. 10 steps, you know, 10 successful.
I think the template, like, here's the steps of getting funded.
Well, then.
The most successful lists like that are reversed. 10 things to do if you want your board to never raise a penny.
Okay.
Right? If you're like, well, I don't want that, so I'm going to read it, right?
Yeah.
So the fear
Just
actually is a
write it all
better
in
trigger,
reverse.
right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So instead of
Tends to get
skin in
more
the game,
opens.
it's no skin in the game.
Right, right. That's
Instead
the 8
of-
mistakes you should, the 8 things you should do if you absolutely want to raise no money for your nonprofit.
Yeah.
Right.
So instead of give them specifics, it's just tell them to fundraise.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so just write it all in reverse. So then I thought we would give them a different PDF though. I thought they got a different PDF. Once they clicked on this and they read the thing, they would have to then give us their email address for, is there a different PDF that they get?
No, I think if they say, the hook was if you lie awake sleeping at night, you're not gonna make payroll. That's not very.
Then they get this 10 list.
Yeah, so they had to give their email address
To get that list. Yeah.
Okay.
And then the landing page, and we were toying with training, effective board planning, and then like have templates that we offer, and they're all priced at $19.99, and then there's a package deal.
And there's like, for the board building and engagement piece, there's
So are
like
you gonna,
25.
are you going to actually sell in your test, or are you just testing to see who will plug in to be on the
Testing to see who will plug in, and then maybe do like, we'll give you a free template if you sign up now, or what are the things
Well,
that
that's-
we're talking about.
Well, that's what I wanted to do, is see if, I mean, can we have like a pay now, like purchase or not?
canvas? Do you have the thing ready to go?
No.
Okay.
Well,
But I
So
thought
what
this
you-
was where you
You can
said.
have that, can't you have a pay now, it says,
Yep.
we,
You could have
Oh, no,
a, you could have,
just like
I
a
want to,
waiting list.
you could have a buy
Get on our
now
waiting
button,
list.
right? When they click on that, say, we're currently developing
Develop the product and we.
Okay, that's what I thought,
Right.
test.
right? Check here, or plug your last again, or whatever, to.
You're now on the waiting
You're now on
list,
the waiting list.
and we'll
right.
contact
Yeah,
you.
and what that would do
So-
then is give you a percentage of percentage, right?
Right.
You get an exact date, because they clicked the buy now button.
Right.
but that lead magnet should be like the ultimate roadmap to nonprofit fundraising.
Yeah, some big
Right.
awesome thing.
But I think the hook still is maybe the pain, but I like your
Yeah.
thing about reversing it too.
Well, sometimes you can try the ads with just the pay, like 10 things you should do if you never want your board to raise a dime for your nonprofit.
Mhm.
And then a little bit of ads, like, are you up awake at night trying to figure out how to get fundraising done? You want to know for sure how to make sure that you never sleep again? Like. that
You want
takes
another puppy to
that
die?
takes you- yeah, that takes
You want another puppy to
That's right.
die?
We're gonna kick one.
Huh?
Right?
No,
That
those
takes you to landing
animal
phase.
groups.
That's
Oh, yeah,
right.
yeah. You want another eco-forest destroyed? Huh? Keep screwing up at your job.
Remind me to tell you a story about the Humane Society later on.
So, that was ours. You guys, oh, and then we're gonna target on the
So you're actually
Facebook.
running 2 experiments. You're running a, will they give us an email address? And you're running a, how many of those people will click a buy button?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So, the other thing is we're gonna do AdWords, and, so, actually, last week when we were looking at it, it's pretty limited, like in San Diego proper, nonprofits under $2 million with, anyway, those are executive director, development director,
Are you doing Facebook or AdWords? Facebook ads or Google ads?
Facebook,
Okay, just want to make sure. AdWords is a Google product.
sorry,
Facebook
Facebook
advertising.
advertising.
And I think those numbers should come up. There was something wrong this week.
So anyway, but that's one thing our marketing person is helping us with,
Okay, good.
who we have on retainer. So luckily, we don't have to build a landing page because I don't know what the hell that is.
What?
Lead page.
Yeah, now we have to launch.
Lead page, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, no,
Gotta
lead
launch a
page
new
is the
website
content.
like within 24 hours. Just
A squeeze page, a pitch page, they're all kind of the same thing. You can squeeze the pitch to the landing page or something. All right.
I think it's a hard experiment setup because you're gonna have to, the minute they download that, they're gonna have to get an auto email, that sends them PDF, which they're gonna have to read. And then somehow they're gonna have to get another message saying to buy. What's gonna push them to buy? What's gonna be the,
They would set it up differently. I mean, I don't think that's how they're setting it up, but
Do they have to read the PDF to?
They
know
want
that-
to read the PDF, that's
Well, I
what I'm saying
understand,
about it.
but to go on to the next step.
No, I
Are
guess
they gonna, like-
open it. I don't know.
So,
if they're
On
gonna-
the landing page, when
I don't
you
know.
click, you put your email address,
Mhm.
please send me the PDF. You pop up a confirmation box. You make your offer,
Okay.
and then buy now, right in that box on the page. You say, the PDF has been sent to your email, thank you very much. Would you like to, we've got this smoking deal on our toolkit right now, down from $199.95 to just, $19.95 for you or whatever. Strike through pricing, $20.95 to $19.95. Buy now, and see how many people click the buy now button. And then you're
You
just
think
gonna,
people would want to read the PDF first before they, you know what I'm saying?
that's a very
Well-
left brain way to look at that. Once you get people to click through once, you would be shocked at what percentage will buy, right?
Yeah.
Well, one of
I
the
agree
things
with that.
we did was we built the PDF to say, like, for example, on give the board the specifics, checklist template doc, like all the templates that are not on this, so they
Yeah.
go, oh. well,
There's a document that correlates
With all
with
of
each
the-
of these. There's a $19.99 with each of these top 10 things.
So you're giving them some information, right?
Well, we're letting them know they don't have all the information.
Okay, but you're giving them some piece of it.
We're saying like, this is what our product relates to this
Okay.
number on this list. And then Jenna was saying too, that there would be a 5-day post email and a 10-day post
Mhm.
email. I think
Circle back.
if we didn't get the buy now immediately.
And how will you target those people that you think would be likely to download or buy?
Through the specific markets we're looking at, and then through on Facebook, through, job titles like fundraiser or nonprofit executive or board member or whatever. And I'm not sure exactly, she knows how to rerun them. Yeah, search words, things.
One thing I want to clarify is your digital download that you're giving away, the 10 things.
Mhm.
I just want to make sure I understand. It's very good to reference those documents, but you want to give them some meaty value in each one of those points,
Mhm.
aside from, okay.
Oh, and they're
Don't
highly,
just say, like we did,
And
it's
they're
like,
highly
here's the 10 things you should
entertaining.
buy. Crap.
Well, this
and
might,
they're highly entertaining.
Okay, well, of course they are.
highly might be-
I expect nothing less.
They will be highly entertaining.
So, like, for-
Check out some examples like by HubSpot, to see how,
HubSpot does a good job.
I mean, they must spend, I'm saying you should do this, but like, they must spend weeks developing these lead magnets, really well designed
There you go.
and rich in content.
So you've got good content, and then you've got references to follow-up email, and another follow-up email, plus an option of buy. What's your assumption on, you said 10% will buy. What percentage will get the free download, do you think, out of people that buy?
I think,
People who hit the page,
Yep. Conversion rate is the people who hit the page, who land on the page, how many of them will,
so
First
actually
conversion is the
download the
free download,
PDF,
yep.
why else do you go to the page?
you'll have
And
a
then you
ton of
just-
people who read it and go, nah, I don't want anything.
Who read the email?
They'll read the,
I'll read the
they'll read the
Oh, gotcha,
the pitch
yeah,
page
yeah.
and go, yeah, I don't want
Yeah,
it.
yeah, gotcha.
Right? That just happens. Any ideas, predictions?
30%.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was
So
thinking.
30% from people that reach the page.
Mhm.
So that's it, out of 100, it's a 10% of the 30, so 3% conversion all the way through.
Is that too low?
That's a little higher than industry standard.
Oh, okay.
2% is industry standard.
Oh, so we're close.
Yep.
All right.
I think you're gonna have a small audience to target.
Well, I mean, they've only got to get 500 people on that page, and they can expand to the whole US if they need to, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
To get a valid
well,
test, right?
globally,
Yeah.
10 million globally, nonprofits, NGOs.
Churches.
And then all the people that volunteer working in them.
Okay.
What is that?
What's that? Good.
What's a squeeze page? Is that what it's
Squeeze page or a pitch page or a landing page. Squeeze page is internet marketing through. Because it squeezes the information out of the bottom. And then the money out of your wallet.
Unbounce too, is another way to fill that page
Unbounce.
for the landing page.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And they have.
Unbounce, lead pages, I know those two. I haven't used any other ones. I think that A/B split test thing I showed you might have a lead page construction.
So web optimizer.
Yeah, Visual Website Optimizer. I think they might have added that service. All right, who's next?
I'm curious.
Designed it yet? Designed it yet? Designed it yet? No
I have
design.
nine, I have done, I'll go, but I haven't.
Okay, start with your assumptions.
Well, and Saturday's class, only had one assumption. I missed the Thursday class, so I didn't have my 5 revenue streams.
Got it.
Ideas. And then my one big assumption, my big idea, I don't think I'm ready to test. When I'm looking at this, I don't think I'm ready to go after that.
Which would be the
Which is
monitoring?
the monitoring, yeah.
Why not?
I don't think I'm ready for it.
Why not? The whole point of
it's
testing.
literally an idea in my head.
That's okay. Why would you spend a minute of your time designing it until you've proven that people want to buy it?
I understand that. I was just thinking that I need to go after smaller revenue streams right now to grow my business.
And maybe you do from a tactical standpoint. I'm not saying that's wrong.
Okay.
I'm saying in the experimentation model, there is no such thing as not ready to test. We test ideas before we've done any work on them whatsoever. As long as we can make up in our head what they're going to look like, roughly, we can sell the concept. We see, because if no one wants to buy this magical concept that we construct, there's no point in trying to build.
Okay.
Right?
Well, I did my customer interviews.
All right.
I got 10.
You got anything good from those? You want to share that real quick? Any key takeaway that surprised you?
No, it's a lack of knowledge. I went to the mall and just interviewed people in the food court.
Bam.
And
Frozen yogurt, Velcro shoes?
Yeah, they're sitting there occupied. Went to the Starbucks there at Tucson Mall and interviewed 2 people there. Went around. I also built I built a Google form and sent it on my Facebook, and I got 5 reviews there also.
Good.
So I know that my questions kind of suck, and I'm already just from doing that, I'm like, oh, I need to ask this. I need to ask this.
Good.
So I'm editing. The biggest takeaway is like people don't have a clue what they're gonna do.
They got no plan.
No plan,
Not
and
even
what's the
thinking
biggest
about it.
concern is cost. And then a lot of them are planning family caregiving. They're planning on like, oh, I have family's gonna help me. I'm gonna be the caregiver.
The kids are gonna feed me.
Exactly, which
doesn't really happen that way.
What about doing
it
like,
actually happens quite a bit because of economics and things like that. Sorry.
oh, I just remember when I was dealing with my dad on this, I still am. What about a checklist? Like, do you know what you're gonna do when your dad, blah, whatever, and like,
Yeah.
it's like the will, or, and it's just kind of like,
So
oh,
the
shit.
industry that you
Like, I
really
don't
could
have
learn a
that
lot from,
information.
I would pay really close attention to the pre-funeral planning industry.
Oh,
Nobody thinks about, nobody wants to think about, there's a
and
huge
that's all
amount
they
of
do is
uncertainty.
market it. Yeah.
And all they do is say, you shouldn't burden your loved ones with this. In this case, it might be slightly different. It might be, you shouldn't let other people decide how you're gonna age. You either take control now, or your kids put you in whatever home they feel like. Scare the shit out of them.
But that's the other part, but
Right.
I'm thinking like
The kids, right?
Like,
Yeah, figure out what dad
What is
wants
your
now, while they can
password
still
to your
remember your
stuff?
name and know how to use the microphone.
Or
80-year-old
you'll
dad's
change his
gonna use
diapers. Do you want to
stuff.
change it?
But I mean, it's that, to Andy's point, the checklist, the audit, the
Where's your
questionnaire,
bill?
right, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm
How you
thinking
log
about.
into their bank account.
Building an
Who's gonna
experiment, I'm
fund the
thinking
foreign
about
cash?
building around producing something like that, or doing a webinar, a live webinar to bring in, to see if there's interest, especially in family caregiving or
Yeah.
something like that. That's part of my new revenue strategies, is go after family caregivers, because that does represent a major chunk of unmarketed people, you know.
So it's very easy to do a landing page or a Facebook ad and get people to sign up for a webinar,
Exactly.
right?
And that's
you
what
can
I'm-
do a webinar in your sleep probably,
Yeah.
right? And you could use Google, I mean, it doesn't cost you anything, but you
No.
can at least see if you target people on Facebook with the right ad,
And
how
see
many
what
people will
happens.
sign up for a free webinar. Give me
Yeah.
a feeling.
Local, like only stick with local because it's
Why?
I don't think
It's a webinar.
local.
But the reason why to stick local is because of my revenue stream. Is I'm trying to maybe build to where we teach a family caregiving course, which is local. And that can be national also. It can be a whole webinar. But I have a school that kind of go inside with that. So
I focus mostly local for Thryve, but we had people apply from Flagstaff. We had people apply from Indianapolis and the Berkshires. So if you go out there and pitch the right value,
I agree.
I'm not saying you should target the country. I'm just saying don't get locked into, I want to grow my business organically. The way businesses scale is with these crazy leaps that happen.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh, well, hold on, there's millions of dollars if I can just unlock this. So be open to that leap, right? It's
I am
it's
very
that
open to
big
that
next step, okay? And don't be afraid down the road if you want to experiment around your home monitoring
I
structure.
think I want to try both. I really want to develop that idea because I think it's a home run.
Your assumption is that people, from your interviews, people have done no planning for when they age, either the parents or the kids. Nobody's planned anything. And that if you offer a free webinar, customers will agree to attend for free to learn about how to plan to age at home.
Yeah.
That's your assumption.
Yeah.
Okay. And knowing that once you're seen as the expert, you can probably sell them on services at some point.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the monitor idea?
My monitoring idea is to wire the home with sensors and a system to where we. The only thing out there right now is like the bracelet or like a pendant to where it has, you know, you'll know if you fell over, but you still have to put it on, and it doesn't give you a lot of data. It doesn't give you almost any data. So I figured monitoring where you wire the home with sensors, like sensors in the bathroom, sensors in the bed, sensors on couches and in the kitchen. Did the fridge open? Did it not open? You can set up a program to set alerts if things don't happen. You can customize it 100%, and then it doesn't affect the senior in any way to know that he's being monitored.
It's not cameras.
It's not cameras. It's not.
Sensors.
It's motion sensors. It's open and close sensor. You know, things like that. And then let's say a sensor never went off. You never got out of bed, and it's already 10 p.m. and usually gets up at 6. An alarm would go off at a certain time to notify a family member or notify an agency that's part of the system that's going to go and check on the person.
I would test that idea.
And
That's the big idea, and that's where it needs to go.
Well, I'm thinking
Right.
of teenagers, liquor cabinet, home during school, or there's a lot of.
Yeah, there's a lot of
It's almost
I
easier to
am
test that idea.
It's less work, I agree.
Because what you're pitching is we're going to do a trial run, and we're going to build this equipment, and when we have it ready, we'd like to install it in your house.
Alright.
Would you agree to pay
Fine.
$199 for the install, right? Or $99 for the install, or whatever? And then-
Yeah, I got to figure out.
Nothing charged now, but
No.
would you? Yeah.
But what would you do? Yeah, I think I want to do that.
Go with your alarm monitor. By the way, I met with your engineer today. He's ready to meet with you when you're ready
Okay.
to develop the whole. I mean, he's got he can get all the parts from China. He can source it all. He can do the engineering work.
Okay.
It's all good.
In my face-to-face interviews, I even talked about monitoring. I mean, what would that look like? And
Yeah.
instant, like, wow, that I would do that. At first, they're like, oh, I don't want to pay an extra. I said, I threw out a number of $200 a month.
Yeah.
They're like, well, that's a lot of money. I'm like, you're not getting any other care. This is all you're doing because you just need to know what's going on so that you can, like, oh, I would do that in a heartbeat.
Right.
So.
Okay.
And then the other thing is then it can
And
be
they're like-
national, because like I could buy that for my dad in Texas, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, there's no
where you are.
borders with
And
it.
it could hit her phone back here.
Her email, text, everything can
Plus the
alert.
agency. So I mean, that's a big idea, and it's a big scalable idea, and it's a big change the world idea.
And then also like.
If you can that's the kind of idea you can go out and raise venture capital for today.
And it's win-win, because the guy, I'm talking about my dad, wants to stay home, and I want him to be safe.
And
So-
it's merges those words, and also having a system like that would prevent in-home care. An agency like mine maybe put it off another 3 years because now they're getting.
And it's portable.
Right.
Yeah.
It could be linked in.
But
Yeah, it's a fun of things play, which is super sexy, and no one's making any money with yet. They've figured out how to make money.
Well, and somebody said their sibling or family member who was mentally ill, like the bipolar brother or somebody said.
that was
and
Aaron.
I think that's another huge issue for people
And
who have
his
loved
big thing,
ones.
I mean, Aaron's idea, he was thinking something around this because of his family, which is tragic, was he had to wear a bracelet though. That would change his normal routine. So the day he didn't put on the bracelet, you don't get that data, which is the day you really needed it.
Right.
So with my idea, it doesn't change any of their daily activities.
Right.
It doesn't change anything in their life. And now you can get real data without.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So can you design an experiment around that?
Yes.
Or do you want to stick with the webinar?
No.
It's your call.
I'm gonna go with this. Go ahead.
Say that again, Jerome.
I said, what if you do something? Like monitor your heart? You put it on.
The only problem with that is that seniors know that they're being looked at, and it to them it restricts their freedom.
It's intrusive.
It is intrusive, yeah.
That's an assumption.
That is an assumption,
assumption
You
is
could
but it's an
that's what
assumption from it is an educated assumption from what I deal with on a regular basis.
But you could also test that down the road,
Correct.
right? You could even offer a reduced price for every day that they wear the bracelet. Or whatever, right? Just ways to do
About
it.
one day that they don't have it.
That's the one day, right?
Yeah.
All right, so we're going big, we're not going home, right? Going big, future billionaire. All right.
And then we can help you give away your money.
That's
Yeah.
right. There-
Exactly.
I always tell every cohort the same thing. I
We
like
gotta
boats.
that.
And they say your boat should be as long, 1 linear foot for every year you are old, so you should, because I'm at about a 39 footer. And they start getting expensive. 45 feet. So get rich fast. All right. Clayton or Renew? Who's up?
I guess I'll try to go.
Go.
I'll say the experiment fully designed. I have some assumptions and I kind of wanted help working that together a little bit. But a couple of our big assumptions is, first of all, as much as 50% of people in the Tucson market aren't living here year-round as far as our customers. So there's snowbirds and students. That's an educated assumption. Another assumption, wherever they're from, same thing, kind of educated. And then I guess I would assume that if we were to have of the non-perishable goods, the things that are unique, that vendors don't already ship it on their own, or if they do, it's ones and twos that they would buy such a box if it would kind of remind them of Arizona, basically. Like if they miss Arizona, would they want to buy these boxes? That also precludes, I guess, kind of assumes the fact that if they are a farmer's market shopper, they shop at a farmer's market back in their home city. That's where the produce and those kinds of things that are already seasonal and kind of flipped anyways would continue. So it's the auxiliary goods like salsas and jams and jellies and
Cactus soap and that whole deal, right?
yeah, exactly. And so this Arizona thing. As far as why we would want to ask if customers would want to do it, it would be one of our biggest problems, and the problem with our vendors or customers is revenues decline massively, on average about 50 to 60% during the off season, or basically the summer, kind of May through September, if you will. So when it's hot, everyone that's not from here leaves, and so if we could then sell a package or a gift box that's something of value, would people buy it, quite frankly? So I want to try to design an experiment to do that. Yeah. Like a
So it's
reminder.
kind of like
Snowbird care packages.
But it's like I've seen a lot of monthly box delivery things that are popping up. You know, like Marvel, or it's all about nerd game stuff.
Yes.
Or, you know, that is something like that.
Oh yeah. And specifically, there really isn't anything quite like that, one. And two, as far as the logistical approach, a large competitive advantage, carrying such goods, curating such goods, polling and researching. We already have the data on what sells.
Benefit to your vendors.
Yeah, to benefit to our vendors and to actually putting together something that people would actually want.
So
It's interesting down the road you can get, because there's a taste of like this international food box. Have you seen that? That's like, oh, this month it's, France, and this month it's Thailand.
In
You
fact,
can do regional boxes.
Yes, that is the big
Taste
idea.
of Ohio.
a lot of
Detroit. Detroit. Nothing in the box.
Well,
It's empty.
Butter from Flint and a bunch of shade.
well, there are some really big links between a lot. I mean, there are the Ohio and those things, of course. But one of the bigger links, if you live in Tucson for any period of time, you would probably know this, it tends to be the Pacific Northwest of Oregon, Washington, as well as kind of like Colorado with the mountains. And I mean, I would guess as much as 70% of snowbirds come from one of those 3 states here, at least that shop at our farmers market.
Oh,
Because I see on our newsletter, I don't have an accurate number right now since I didn't start it this way, but for the last year and a half, when we get new subscribers, we ask whether
talk to people at markets. Do you want to do? I mean, I'm not pushing everybody. What methodology do you want to use?
Well, I mean, I would like to kind of design in theory, meaning I don't have to go and either buy at Keystone or whatever the logistics of the pricing of the box would be, those products, but to put together a box of value X on retail goods, you know, put it at a margin to the entire model, which we know from the recipes out there with subscription boxes. It's about 50% cost.
Yeah, there's a sweet spot.
Yeah, there is. And so you get that right, assign a price of, you know, X, and basically get a design thing that shows what these things are, maybe put some text in there, recipes, that kind of stuff, a little value added, and say, would you pay $50 for this? And maybe you would, or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And like, tell people about it. We'll find out, first of all, if there's snowbird, that kind of thing. Tell them about it, and maybe have a landing page for it. It wouldn't be.
Remember to do the, if you can do that, anchor the pricing. So the $59 box,
Right.
$39 box,
Right.
there's a $29 box.
What's
39 is your best value.
okay? So that same.
Middle of the road, call it out, big gold box, make the rectangle bigger on the page. Bigger
So
rectangle.
you have
I
to work
see
with
that all the
vendors though too, to make sure you get product from them, or how does that?
Yeah, so because a lot of the vendors already, you know, we have really strong relationships with them, we're communicating on a weekly basis type of thing. It would be, once we kind of select the products we want, it would be, you would place an order. So going about expanding once a month. Okay, plan April's box, you know, 6 weeks before, so we would know what we want, place the order of 200.
the vendors.
Because then you would have a cutoff date, so you would know what you need, and you'd have time to get the product in one place.
Because vendors
assemble it.
are making their product only like a week before this.
Yeah, but if you place the orders and provide appropriate lead time, which this is all, there's a science to it, that you would be able to effectively do things, still keep things.
The other thing that might be interesting to collect is when people are gone, because I might not want the box when I'm here.
That is,
If I'm gone May to December.
that is what I think, and we have.
Assumption though, maybe they want it year round.
It is, that's a good
Send it to me
assumption.
in Arizona, I'm not gonna leave the house, right?
Right, I mean, and then if you were somewhere else in the future, like those places, their seasons tend to be flipped.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty crazy. There's even a number of vendors that literally go 5 months or 3 months if it's kind of Colorado during that season. And, you know, Airbnb in Vail or something like that, because the markets there are so ridiculously well.
So you're gonna print a flyer and ask people if they'd be interested, if they want to sign up.
Perhaps
Collect
flyers.
physical, or you're gonna do a website page.
You know, I think kind of, since we're talking so much about the snowbirds and they always respond better in person than they reaching out to them via emails. And there's some flyers.
Okay. Let's see how many people will sign up for it. Tell them it's not ready yet, but as soon as it is.
Yeah.
I definitely would try both though, to see if you can get emails on me, because
Sure.
mine's in the emails for sure.
Right, and I don't have Adam's at about 12,000 a month.
Put it in my email.
There you go.
I have an assumption that you want to test your assumption.
Right, yeah.
I think the other thing too, are you familiar with Birchbox?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what about, this could be something too that people would subscribe to, but they could also.
That's that picture. I mean, you get your snowbird from whatever, they come here and then they go back home at the end of April type of thing. They get their box. Oh my goodness, this whole type of, it's great. Share it with their neighbors. Okay, now I got to get you one because you thought it was awesome. You know, that kind of thing. It's really a package, and we would only look to get into it as far as a subscription like that, where and not try to become at the same time. I feel that's the problem that Birchbox and a lot of those ones have done. I've read about that, how they get an early adoption and they don't get anyone after like a year again because they run through the stuff, people find it, and then they just buy it directly from them. But then that kind of cuts out the whole subscription and
Even if you go to Birchbox, that's their my daughter's 14. She loves it. So it's a totally different market.
They are separate.
Yeah, I would go buy it.
I subscribe. I've been a subscriber to Bespoke Post for a year and a half now.
What?
It's just food in the first box?
Cosmetics, so like samples of different kinds of lotion or whatever.
Part of the problem is
College girls too.
And then what?
Just online.
5 plus. And then outside. And then something posted.
I was just going to make an observation too. We do a lot of Catholic Church fundraising, and so
don't ever directly call them.
We need some of your
Living here long enough.
contribution. Sorry.
Your I mean, that makes your business more scalable to where now you move to the LA market and now you get an LA box.
Because then when you walk into the LA markets and you want to recruit these existing vendors, you have so much more value in your portfolio. And that's the big, and push us over in that regard, because as it is right now, we already have such an advantage of getting the I mean, vendors, they already give me stuff at cost, and they give any other vendor stuff at cost practically. They understand the value of paying that forward. I'm not expecting cost per se, but I still say keystone price versus if it were. Box.
Oh,
Yeah,
You know, see that?
And did pitch and
I've gone through this whole thing already with a mutual partner. And yeah, that's another huge. That's because that was their specialty. Our specialty, at least beginning, is these small scale food producers, non-perishable, and it's the ones in Arizona right now since that's our network.
Okay. You.
No, next to that. So the person right there, that's him.
Jerome, can you hear me? Yeah.
I can hear you.
Do you wanna wait? We got one more, or do you wanna jump in? I got two. Understand this experimentation thing yet?
All right, I can share something with you.
Good. Go for it.
And we lost him. Your mic's off.
You're live, Jerome.
Are you talking?
All right, so I created a squeeze.
Page.
Oh.
You bring up the screen.
I have protected
Screen sharing.
a squeeze page that we wanted to try out that for remote management systems. So our assumption is that that if we approach it like we're from a big city like Phoenix or Albuquerque, that be able to gain more clients. So we're going to run an experiment. I don't know if it's good enough, but we're going to say that we're from marketing from Phoenix or from Albuquerque. So actually Phoenix and Flagstaff most likely, and see where we get the most signups. I don't know. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So your assumption is that if you're from a larger metro, more people will sign up for your monitoring service.
Yeah, because I mean basically
that way. Okay.
Yeah, I mean I think that's
You
the assumption up
marketing
here.
Okay.
Yeah, the assumption up here, especially. I
don't know.
I guess it's the assumption of the more expensive shoe compared to the lesser expensive shoe. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
So we're just trying to like see. I mean, even though if you have the same product and if you price it higher for one area and price it lower for another, who's gonna? What's the difference gonna be? What's the?
Right.
Yeah. So that's
You back up.
yeah. So we created this page on our homepage, and we have a link to it.
Okay. So you're going to run advertising for that?
Yeah, we're gonna run advertising for this. This is our homepage we have. So this is what we have, and we have a little markup thing right here at the bottom.
Okay. Are you going to drop the ads directly to that squeeze page, or are you going to put them on your homepage?
So far we put it on our homepage, but we haven't really done anything with it. But I think we're gonna run ads through Facebook, or most likely.
Okay.
Yeah, either Facebook or probably Twitter too, and target the. I think with Facebook you can target the geographical areas better. I think. I don't know. What do you guys think?
My suggestion would be never make me click to get to your squeeze page. Send me right to the squeeze page.
Okay.
As an advertiser, I mean, you can test it, but burying your squeeze page, one click, people cut your.
Am I back?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen some, but I haven't promoted that at all. 3 signups already.
3 signups.
So
excellent.
Yeah, so
All right,
that's as far as we've gone.
Testing, it has to do with pricing and revenue, part of your growth. I get it. That makes sense.
Yeah. So we're just
All right.
testing it.
Yeah, exactly. Test it and see if it works. Renew.
All right. So basically, our leap of faith assumption. Higher up front cost to install renew solar energy instead of flat panels. Aaron, this was something if we were to meet with hotel owners or managers and resort owners, because they have high electric and heating bills. Money in their budget or sign a letter of intent that isn't legally binding.
So your experiment is to sell.
That's kind of why I was a little confused about.
Yeah.
So it
seems like a really big experiment. How do we do that cheaper and faster?
Right. And so then I was just thinking, maybe if we just have something on the website where it's just you sign up for a free consultation or something like that. Because instead of one of the behaviors, is sign a letter of intent or promise to set aside $50,000 in their budget, or just to set up a follow-up.
So we could get closer. We can't. I mean, getting them to set aside money is a big test, right?
Right.
We can get close. Get those hotel owners. Come empty-handed.
Salt the caramel covered chocolate.
Oh, killing.
So we have to eat them before they melt.
Okay. Let's jump on that. So you're really talking about if you could get people to sign up for a free consultation.
Yeah.
Target hotel owners, right? Okay.
Yep. Set aside time.
Right.
Well, prickly pear.
They're actually salted
Sorry, Jerome.
Yeah.
Missing out.
Uh-huh.
And you could be in the other group.
All right. Did you? So how would you go about getting those hotel owners to the point where they could sign up for a consultation?
Yeah, exactly. It's just, I don't know how to, the best way to market them and then only, or, the only thing I can think of is, just.
Who's the decision maker? Is the owner, is the manager, is the?
So far, I personally haven't even been able to meet with them. I'm still in the process of setting up meetings for customer interviews. So it is kind of tough to, talk to the decision makers. I guess like on the residential side, it might be easier, I just spend, people like neighbors and homeowners, so.
And it's not a good analog for what you're trying to do.
Exactly, that's the problem there.
So it gives us some information about consumer psychology, but.
Right.
The owner's decision maker.
Right.
If it's a big chain, you gotta move higher up the food chain.
Talk to Mike Castro.
Hotels. Yeah, like Motel 6 is the Holiday Inn. A lot of them are individual owners.
Yeah. I mean, even.
Bill Conroy at Arizona.
Oh, really? I didn't know.
Yeah, if you can just give us like a warm lead, that'd be really appreciated. Because that's the other thing, is most of it is just kind of almost cold calling except for one, and he hasn't responded.
So again, you could target.
Franchises, most of them.
You could target hotel owners on Facebook.
Okay.
You could. You would have to get into the hotel industry and then target job titles of owner, operator, CEO, president, whatever, in the hotel and hospitality industry. Okay, narrow it down quite a bit. And then if you had something that was,
Cut your
find out how to cut your electricity and heating costs by 30% a year, or whatever.
What about?
Saving the planet, and save the planet, whatever, some environmental indicator.
Yeah.
And see who would sign up for a 15-minute, maybe it's a webinar, maybe it's a phone consult, right? That way you could target nationally.
Okay.
Because if you just target locally, you're going to get local.
Yeah.
But but local economy is not reflective of your total market. So we're trying to test the market.
And Mike has hotels all over.
The hypothesis again is that hotel owners will buy this term.
Is that, they're willing to pay a higher upfront cost or something?
And but why? Because it's more efficient, it's gonna.
Right, and you're getting heat energy as well. Use them just electricity.
Heat a pool.
And in a smaller area.
For
a lot of them have heated pools, that makes sense.
Right, exactly. So that's why we're thinking, we're going through this, our ideal customer.
Yeah.
Do you have data to say the cost savings, to break down the cost savings versus like, where's the, like solar always has that.
Right.
With the break even,
year 12.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So that was part of it, is so in that consultation, we'd ask for like a copy of their TEP bill, and then just based on that, okay, so over the next 5 years, you'll be saving how much on this.
So even though it's an upfront higher cost, there's a much sooner break-even point versus solar.
Flat panels.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, but you have to target people that have not done solar.
Exactly.
Because they're not gonna be like, well,
because you're not gonna want to tear off your panels.
So one of the questions is,
you're 5 out of 20.
Can you do that? I mean, your average hotel size is what? It's 75 rooms or 100 rooms or whatever, all across the country, right? Say it's 100 rooms. Average hotel is 100 rooms. Average occupancy is 40%. Average energy usage is going to. Can you find that bell curve and say, for the average size hotel, you're going to save 30% of your energy bill every year after year 3 or whatever that number is.
Right.
You'll do that curve, right? Just because you want to be able to get something that catches their attention to get them in.
Exactly. Okay.
Right?
So that would be part of like the
might be part of the pitch,
landing
landing page, right?
Like the PDF in the sense, like the free.
Yeah. So if you could do that, and then you could sign people up for a webinar, they need it for Melton.
Yeah, no, those things are really good, man. It's like the Ben and Jerry's pop chocolate.
Like, I think that's our ticket right there.
Yeah.
No, because.
But bonbon, I wouldn't call it a bonbon. It's like more like a cookie almost.
Yeah, it was, yeah, I was expecting something round, but it's flat.
And smaller.
That's like a.
I was like, I can eat a bonbon.
Perspective, when a batch of ice cream, we can make about 220 pints, which by the time we sell them, we only make about $2 a pint.
Wow.
And that's a pint that sells for $8 in the store.
Wow.
Margins get cut. But for bonbons, for the same batch, we figure we can make about 4,000 that we're selling for $1.
But that's good chocolate.
Wow.
Isn't there a high cost of chocolate?
Yeah, chocolate, but still.
It's still up.
So it's a 4X.
Yeah.
Retail.
And there's no way to selling them.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are
Hundreds of
delicious.
Right?
Well, and that's a
Well,
total
it's-
woman thing.
How much
too.
is
Yeah, because it's a
Like,
portion
don't take
control,
serving
right?
size.
Yeah. Otherwise, I end up
Totally.
eating this pint and the other pint, then I'm in the corner crying.
Exactly.
How much is that?
Fetal
box?
position.
In the bathroom.
How much is the box?
A pint?
How much do you sell those boxes for?
The bonbons?
Yeah.
The box.
We actually just kind of started selling it. We package them in little packs of 3 or packs of 2.
Yeah.
And so far we've just been going to like restaurants and the
Yeah, man.
loft. So we haven't
Cold
pushed
dessert.
it hard yet.
What would you do for a Klondike bar?
Yeah, those, I'd buy the box of those occasionally.
Several times a day. All right, so you could do a webinar. And you could see how many people you get to sign up for that webinar, right? You could target all these hotel managers. Right. You've got a chance to show off your technology and what it does, and you've got, hey, if you're interested in this, you want to have a consultation, you want to run the numbers on your property.
Yeah.
You turn it into a sales process.
Right, in a sense, yeah, the next step would be, if you send us your TP bill and, more kind of.
Well, not TP, anywhere in the country.
Right.
You know what,
Right.
an easier way to target these guys might be is to buy a list.
Yeah, it might be to pay to get a mailing list of hotel managers.
Upload that list to Facebook.
Yeah, so somebody like,
Hotel owners.
yeah, you could upload, a list versus a running list is always tricky, but you could probably rent the list from somebody like Exact Data for.
How do you
$6 They send the
On
email for you.
one time use.
Oh, okay.
You upload the email creative, they help you design it. and they
Okay,
send it out.
that's what.
Oh, yeah, so they never actually give it.
Although for $600, you can put a lot of reach on Facebook.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is Facebook's so freaking cheap now.
But you gotta know how to do it right. I'm running like 7 different campaigns for people right now. And one of them, I got, cost down like 8 cents or like 97 cents, It's just depends on the product, industry.
Video. I get the video clicks down to 2 cents a click pretty consistently now.
Really?
You just gotta, people love that play button, man. They just hit it.
Yeah, that's good.
So, get them to attend the webinar, and your assumption can be out of, X percentage of people who go to the landing page,
Yeah.
this percentage sign for a webinar, right? If they'll sign up for a webinar, then they're interested enough, it's almost a high hurdle. They're committing time, which is worth something.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Were you here on Saturday for experimentation?
Yes.
Okay, talking about experiments.
What's my test?
Do you have an experiment yet?
I haven't done it yet, but
You don't have to tell us.
I have to look at 2 different things because my big idea is to franchise trucks. So I'm not testing among franchisees. But I have a product that is very easy to test.
You could test
Taste
franchisees.
test. Well, like literally product. So one of the things was, because my product costs a lot to make because the way we make it's a very high butter fat and it tastes good. But I might be, because of what I think was, we got into Whole Foods and Safeway. We do better at Whole Foods than we do at Safeway. I think it's because our product is expensive.
Yeah.
And so I need to I think what we need to do is find the ideal spot, which is probably like a Cold Stone Creamery quality product. If we are super premium, then there's garbage, and then, there's stuff in the middle. And I'm wondering if, I need to make sense by maybe making the product more affordable, which means like less cream, but then I need to test that. And so it'd be very simple to literally do a taste test where it's like, here's 2 vanillas, try it, and then, decide which one you want to buy. And then someone can try it. They don't know anything about it. So there's 2 ways to do it. There's one is I'm Isabel's Ice Cream doing it, or there's a totally blind one where they don't know, there's no label, just try these, let me know what you like. Because then you can kind of take out some preconceived ideas.
Sure.
But that's just a simple.
So the question is, if your big idea is to franchise, why wouldn't you test around that?
Well, so the concept, the reason I was thinking about that is price is, all right, the more affordable I can make the product for the franchisee, the more successful they are. So that was that. But how am I supposed to test?
Put up a page for Isabel's Ice Cream truck franchises, and you target people and you ask them to sign up to get more information.
That would be more of an AdWords thing to have imagine too.
Yeah. People looking for franchise, and then you just send an email that says we're currently working on our franchise package now. Please fill out this survey if you'd like to be considered, and you gather information on name and ask them for their net worth, and just get it all right now.
Well, that'd be fantastic because if I can actually put together a list,
because
in May I am actually presenting to a group of a VC group.
But if nobody will sign up for your franchise packet, then you have problems, right? So this is testing whether you have a unique value proposition.
Okay.
Right? And I mean, I would take the time. You want to do that quick, but over time, I would iterate on that. I would shoot video and put that on there and show the truck, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I would start developing. If that's where you want to go, but you could start with a simple page, right?
I actually have some video.
Good.
We can watch it. That was done because we did a Kickstarter campaign a couple of years ago.
I remember that.
We were successful.
Yeah.
And I have a buddy who's pretty good. He worked on how I do video, and then he took that same video and made it just a general promotional video. I think it might still be a little too long.
So this is what we call a high hurdle.
Okay.
So you're going to get the email address that they're interested in on the franchise, a little bit of information on that, how awesome it is, how much money it makes, blah, blah, blah. You might have to estimate those numbers, it's fine. Then you're going to send them, and we can set this up through MailChimp. I use the same thing I use for you guys. It's WooForms, or WooForms, I think it's what it's called. You can build a form. It'll auto email the form with all the questions. It'll load that all into a database for you. It'll keep track of how many people are signing up and when they're completing the long form, right? When they've started by giving email address, it's all MailChimp. So for 50, 60 bucks a month, you could run that, put up a lead page.
See what I get.
And then go target people interested in franchising around the country, or people of certain net worth and age brackets, right? Or certain job titles, net worth and age brackets.
Yeah, I would AdWords that one and then retarget them.
Oh yeah, people are searching for franchise opportunities.
Yeah,
and AdWords and then retarget them.
Yeah.
That little solar powered truck follows them around the internet. Hell yeah, it's a good way to do it.
Now I do need to be a little bit careful because there's franchise laws like crazy. So
all you're saying is that if you're interested, work on it now. We're gonna develop a package.
Yeah, I think there's, I think I just can't say, I can't talk about dollars. Like, can't say you're gonna make this, or you could, or it's gonna cost this. I think.
Right.
Isn't it very expensive to get a franchise license?
It's set up.
To get set up, isn't it like extremely expensive?
It's probably gonna cost, for me, it's probably gonna cost about $100,000.
Okay. Well,
so that I can then
thought,
just go
still.
offer, and then of course you gotta have the money to go sell it.
And you got to know like how much they could potentially make a year doing this. And a lot of the franchises I looked at, it's like you gotta have a certain network, obviously, and then you gotta say you're gonna be opening up to 10 in the next 3 years. You usually want to see some scale of it as well.
Sure. Yeah. But I mean, if you talk to a franchise attorney already, okay. So as long as you're not crossing those laws, start gathering information. Yeah. Because it validates your idea.
Sure.
If you go to those investors and say, I've already got 300 people with a average net worth of $1 million who've asked for packets, you just sliced off a big chunk of risk and handed them a nice pretty pie to invest in. Right? So it's it feeds into your validation and scaling.
Yeah.
That's why this experimentation is so awesome, because it validates things for investors and banks and everybody else, right? You guys end up with 50 hotel owners on a webinar, you're gonna be able to convert a couple of those.
Right.
You could just find another similar concept, maybe not ice cream, anything truck related that was trying to franchise, and just steal the whole thing, other than change the cost and everything.
I was telling you about Kona Ice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's a shaved ice truck, and they've sold 650 franchises since 2007.
What do they charge the franchise?
It includes a creepy truck.
Yeah, I'm really into artisan food, so I only eat shaved ice if it's shaved with a straight razor. All right, all right, everybody's got a test, an experiment.
I had 3 signups already.
And you had 3 signups already. Have some more ice cream.
In the last couple
You
hours.
earned it.
You earned it.
All right.
In the last hour, rock on.
Last 2 hours.
All right. So we're starting to see why this is not something we normally do in business. No one ever goes to business and goes, you know what, let's sell shit long before we have it. Like only P.T. Barnum said that, right? Nobody else is like, I'm just going to make it up and sell it. If people won't pay for it, I'm not going to build it, right? But if you think about it, it's really how Kickstarter started off, right? It's pre-tail.
Yeah.
It's these validation tests for markets are really critical, right? Because the sales process by itself, in say pre-tail, if you can't sell your product, if you can't get people to buy it, there's no point in doing anything else, right? So, and once you get down this path, you start with hotel owners, and you follow it up with somebody else who's another customer segment. You follow it up with another product test, right? And some of these aren't going to work. Some of the ones that you just proposed aren't going to work. You look at it and go, something's not working, right? And then you go back to your customer interviews, and you ask them, you said you had this pain, here's this thing, would you have signed up for it? And they say, well, hell no, because I don't want cameras in my bathroom. Well, you weren't clear about that in your UVP, right? Or in your copy, right?
It's in the fine print.
It's in the fine print. No cameras in the crapper. Asterisks. Right? Yeah. No, right? It's like,
it's the most
no
expensive
cameras
that turns the camera when you get it.
Now with flush detection.
Yeah.
All right, so everybody good? Yeah? We gotta grab this other group here in a minute. That was faster than I thought. We only have half an hour left, but we can work on other stuff. I knew that was a lot of time to spend on this, but.
Oh, good.
Maybe someone could look at mine and give me tear apart the language.
Do it. I'm gonna go check with Justin, see where he's at.
Eat some more bones.
Eat some more bones.
Is it on the?
SusanFoodie.com.
All right, I'm only eating one more. Can I have one more?
Yeah.
I have to go to a birthday party and eat cake after. Are you eating another one?
I don't need our ice cream anymore, just these.
Okay, I'm on.
Have you had the Peace Pops, Ben & Jerry's?
No.
It's really good chocolate like that.
Okay, so where do we go from here?
I got another
All the way
customer
to Bob.
interview sitting
Yeah.
I got another interview sitting here.
Very nice.
Okay.
I put it on Facebook.
Fresh ideas.
Okay.
Is everybody that's coming through on Facebook local, or is it?
It's my friends and stuff
Oh.
like that, yeah. But I haven't done any ads.
Like, we have my
I haven't boosted posts. or
So
anything
you
like that.
yep.
I'm gonna have to do that for my big idea though.
So, so through this quiz, I know I'm a comfort foodie. Would you have different,
you took the quiz?
suggestions? Yeah, depending on the quiz, things like that, depending on.
I do it like in a survey?
I did, yeah.
Or is it just
Maybe
like
at some point.
Oh, okay, it's just only, there's only one version of the list or suggestions.
But I actually thought the way I would segment it, my first idea was segment it by area of town you live on.
Oh, okay, yeah, that actually would probably be.
Because the idea, we don't, because the idea is to give you ideas. We don't want to it's not, it's to break you out of your comfort zone.
Right.
So now,
I don't know if I'm really driving an hour and a half.
right, so let's go.
I see it every day, but I've never tried it for whatever reason.
That's okay, I got no kids, I'm wholly screwed.
That's why you'd be calling
I
me.
think that's,
Yeah,
what about,
exactly.
are you considering?
I'll be on a beach in
or is it
Mexico.
not
Yeah, I
practical
know,
for your
that's
audience,
fine.
people with dietary
That's a big market. My industry's moving to Mexico.
Okay.
Senior care facilities, things like that.
If somebody could, let's say one of the ideas is like, go to the mirror market.
Try this one today.
You can try
That one
their-
works better.
one of
The
their,
collab
you know, they have
workspace.
some ethnic plates, I can't remember what they are. I'm modified here.
Oh, yeah.
And that, so, I don't think I would have like an extra one for, if this is that, something like, they get really like, people are really into it, then yeah, we'll start looking at all those different options.
Right, like if I'm personally paying for it, I would want something way more customized, I guess.
And I don't even know. I'm like.
Right, exactly.
I guess it depends on how much value
Yeah,
you
and unknown.
If they were, I can tell you one of the more commonly overlooked segments that I think is way overlooked is like the vegetarian vegan group.
Well, we had a vegan, I had a vegan column for a long time.
No, I know.
Oh, it should put on your bottom.
Why?
Yeah, so.
I'm looking for a new person. Actually, I have like about 15 vegan writers that have wrote them. I haven't had a chance to review their writing yet. Haley Thomas wrote me. Jamie wants to do it, take it over for Jamie. And didn't. I have a vegan newsletter.
Oh, right.
I have segments in my list too. I have.
Yeah,
the
and
main
then.
letter.
So it
Yeah,
says-
you can just read that.
You can set up below and then where? Go all the way down again?
Focus.
Right.
Vegan focus, which is vegan focus.
Oh, where?
That pop up for you?
No, that's
Especially
why I was.
numbers. You don't have the.
It's like, it's like 1, 2, 3 pages down. If you start from the top.
I think you passed it.
It's gotta be.
There you go. And you're only really focused on that. That's always been your thing.
You can sign this. Like the last page
If you
before
don't
is.
focus, go to the grocery store, get those
Right.
products, or go to the farmer's market.
So that's here.
Yeah,
Because I don't want to, just weird whenever you do stuff like that.
yeah, so. There's
Or
the.
No,
or to whatever. Yeah.
I'm obsessed with restaurants too, I was just wondering.
Yeah, that's weird.
Mine doesn't have a thing that comes up to sign up.
Right here.
You just request the text again?
Just go to TucsonFoodie.com if I can.
That actually.
Pretty much right there. So you can finish a little bit and see it, read about it.
It's still living.
I think that's awesome.
Copy, if it,
Good copy, okay.
yeah.
So I was gonna sign up, but I don't wanna see your numbers, but I really would want that.
Sign up, no, you'll get, I mean, I'll really test this out. Spam the hell out of you too. Just kidding. No, I do not share this with anybody.
I'm the one who goes on Yelp and in the filter, I'm like, I don't want any 1 or 2 star restaurants. I'm doing like the 3 and 4 star,
Yeah.
$3 and $4 sign ones. I'm doing those, so not the stars, but the dollar
Yeah,
signs.
oh, yeah.
You know, it's like, I don't need another taco truck in my life.
Yeah, well,
I'm like, I know where those are, I don't need to search for those.
a well-known restaurateur that I know says 3 stars on Yelp is because of that.
Well, the
Or-
dollar signs, you mean?
No,
Oh, yeah,
the
stars,
stars.
dollars,
Yeah, it's gotta
yeah.
be 4 or 5.
Totally.
And how often do you see it 5? Usually 4.5, but
Yeah, well, if you see 5, it's because they only
say
have 3.
3 reviews.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the owner of his son.
Yeah, yeah. Some person with no picture.
Yeah,
We're also experimenting with pop-up dinners, a monthly pop-up dinner. These are small. The thing with a site like mine is like I have to have a number of revenue generating activities. There's not like one big thing that I've been able to come up with. So we had our first dinner. We just came up with the menu today. I didn't call it.
Oh, good.
But it's at Commoner and Company.
Uh-huh.
5 courses.
Cool.
I think that's a great idea.
So how many people are they limiting it to?
That one, 50.
And how are you making money?
Good.
There's two ways that I'm not sure which one, but either a flat fee or
Per person?
no,
Oh, flat fee, yeah.
or to promote this event for them, or I make money off You see, that's sold.
Okay. So is it their event that you're gonna promote? Because I think the future is like, you're putting the event, it's about your site putting on events and then selling tickets to it.
We're doing all the marketing and promotion for it, and it'll look like our event.
Okay.
But they're you know, they come up with the menu. I mean, I'm not sure. You know, like, I need them to do the menu and cost it out.
It is, isn't it?
And the revenue model for the sign up list, what is that? Do you know what that could be? The sign up list for.
That would be like, so every morning, you'll get a, every morning it'll be, like, you'll get an email.
And then I guess we'll go through Facebook and just go through the hotel owners.
I don't know, I got sucked into the macaroni.
So that's gonna be good.
Good. I'm sure maybe the holiday might, but
One, yeah, that.
really think about it.
Two, and so like, and so here's.
Yeah, anyone.
I've always, my thing
So
too, so, you know, it's
Snyder,
very,
he's the owner, he's the developer.
keep it real. It's not,
Is he owner?
advertisers.
And then, but it's still, it's
Dictate what
a franchise.
what we suggest.
It's a
Yeah.
boutique Marriott, it's one, it's a Marriott.
So it's the.
Yeah, AC area, it's out
They're
of
sponsored.
Europe, it's just opened. This is actually the first one right now.
So I put that it's a cache. That.
French toast that Arizona
Because it is
here is
restricted.
sponsored.
Yeah, that's exactly.
It's like the Sofitel ones, is, or,
We're still
those are all
including
from Europe, right?
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
Rana
we-
Beach,
It's a lot.
same too?
I don't know that one.
So you're gonna stay organic with
I'm just thinking.
unsolicited advice?
Higher up.
Right.
Featured,
That's
like
why
featured items.
Yeah.
And then Tom
Then
Warren is doing one
sponsor.
at the university.
Yeah, I don't know how I would word it, but it'd be featured.
Residents, it's
Residents,
high-end.
like,
Yeah,
your
yeah.
organic suggestions.
And they're all here. Well, it's
And you
nice.
charge per how many people?
Yeah, I mean, like, we'll suggest your breakfast dish for.
Okay. Pretty good.
Now, you know, if it was ever developed to a point where it was like, people were really using it a lot, and
Yeah,
and they were getting it via
cheese
like
classes.
an app or like a text message. And so,
With Stan Recker.
in terms of
Stan Recker.
something from the service, but
We set up a spreadsheet that like, so you can toy with these ideas and then put, you know, numbers.
So
what would that
we'd be doing, you know, like
What if
a,
we tweak this?
I guess
number
it's
here,
just.
what would that do?
So we're
I haven't done it yet. That's not, I'm still not good at that. I look here.
I did one for.
Yes, just straight to
My
that.
margin
We could
suck.
probably do, maybe, or that could be a different experiment, you know?
Just
like-
So wait, I broke down my margin by percent.
Like PDF that
What it goes
is-
to.
So you make like all your money goes out. Yeah.
Just like at the end, so putting your.
Others,
Like,
daily
yeah,
dining
we're more
suggestions.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah.
This is my existing.
Maybe that.
You want right now.
Sign up for it? The daily dining suggestions,
Only if you want to.
this red box.
And whereas.
So I'm actually signing up for everything. Thanks to stalking.
I stick to 3 iPad. Share Microsoft
It's hard to know, yeah, I mean, I guess we're just trying to.
I'm charging, I pay my, or I'm
Yeah, more.
averaging charging $7. Because I have no friends
Yeah.
all together as.
That's what you
You know what I mean?
bring.
That's what, yeah.
That's what you're charging per hour.
Yeah, 1768, and then I bill for each week. I have.
Right, exactly. Yeah, so I guess this will be like a.
Per month.
Oh, wait.
Per month, this month here. And then I'm doing some projections where if I grow by 50 hours each for the next month, what would it bring? And then I.
It is.
I can
Putting
tweak
that
it.
much out for
I'm paying just for the caregivers, this month. And then I'm paying this, now I have this left over, now I have my
And then what?
fixed
Well,
costs.
yeah, so I guess. it's
Rent,
who
my
actually click on
office
it.
management,
And then
you know,
people who-
I have to add a, I need to add my utilities.
Yeah.
But what I need to do is like, I need to get to here. Because.
We have to-
Oh my God,
No, I was at 80% before, now I'm 72. What did I do to?
Yeah, whatever stage up to, whatever.
What was that?
That's, yeah, up to.
And that's what you have left over.
Well, I just don't have my, I don't have my, I was doing this money. But
So like, based on
Right.
that's what we have left for business and living expenses to yourself.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
and
or-
you to go through the numbers. for that.
No.
Yeah.
So no, yeah, I at the bottom line, that's what I gotta pay. So, there's other factors, like it takes a little longer to get paid. It's
It
just,
shouldn't be
I built this much, I have to pay this
He's
much.
like,
I should make this much, but
And she's like,
it takes
why
time.
is everybody think
I built
this is scary? And we're like,
So.
Yeah,
in order-
So there was a huge
Exactly,
fight.
what, if I could change that number right there, it said, hey, 13, 12,
Right.
what was that?
So-
Yeah, no, I understand that,
Yeah,
but,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
right now, here's our marketing costs, and things like that. I plan on being in person. I'm not doing it now. So right now, I can just take it out and show it actually and stuff like that. Trying to put it on. So I think it's like, what if I can get some of the other would?
Yeah.
That's what
Why can't you do
that?
that?
I can, I just need to change our marketing and change what value we bring.
Show you what happened.
You don't want to
It's
have.
not.
Well, I mean, for like, we went from 80-some percent total cost.
Oh, you have this many hotel rooms.
I'm trying to link.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Right, right. This many items, say this much more.
It's more of like a.
Yeah, it's like those like.
No, we do wordsmith this?
So
I
many
figure out
companies that like TEP has it, but.
We gotta have, yeah.
It's like a solar.
Well, and she, I think,
I don't know
wants
if
to
that's something
launch
you-
our
I think it was something that
website
would actually
first.
stay on the website, so like the solar energy calculator, so you just change here to here, what percent,
computer.
things like that. you know.
It's like the size of gas furnace or something. Or size of pump. or pool.
Yeah, so you could do something like your electricity bill, heating, and you just move the sliders or something, and just put it in there and just saving probably per year. it's like a
Think right, our
good-
bikes too.
9 per
Although Jeff only wants to do
It's
this
just
race.
all that.
I was like trying to find
Days.
stuff.
You know, and I usually
Yeah,
do
you have to go
everything.
Where I cut the on the old taco truck.
That's where it gets kind of dicey, is just because you can't.
We can
then you
use.
have a- yeah.
Is that what you mainly use?
Yeah.
Like,
Say.
At least you can access it from anywhere, no matter what you're at.
Yeah, so this number would be even bigger,
Like, just
so
inside of the-
actually like
You can do a
say,
search inside your own drive.
Yeah, and I can't remember.
But it's
like
like,
8,000, you know, and then like a little last, that's, you know, considering 30% discount rebate.
right, you get the rebate up front. Appreciate it, when they appreciate it.
Yeah.
You're kidding, what? It's right here. It's not making sense. Something's wrong with her. Does she have pill head?
There it is.
She's low IQ.
So this is,
I mean, Saturday.
Well, this is every. Inventory and revenue.
Okay.
It's like,
It is.
that's every ad we offer,
That's the thing, yeah.
and how much we charge for our single.
I told you I was on the elevator with her.
How many advertisers we have on each one,
We gotta,
and then how much we charge.
yeah, I guess.
So that we
Keep
can
pushing on that
advertise
front
throughout the year,
but then at the same time.
We're talking, this idea of just like, this is
I would almost focus
one
on
ad
this.
right here, and here's the different rates we're charging people.
Okay.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, you made it be focused on
The process sounds like we are
Seattle.
some people on contract in January of 2015, yeah, we're paying the old rates, of 2015. Some people are paying the discount. So the idea is that.
You still don't have the data.
No.
Okay.
She's great.
this is something we had
Megas.
set up, and it's every
She
piece
does
of
some
ad revenue, so you can look at
that's
like
right.
how much we,
And her husband does an
inventory was.
Yeah.
But it's not,
No,
but it's not,
I don't know if you-
it's not,
It's
taking into account that employees are costs.
Yeah,
But
so I have it broken
she-
into costs because that's what it takes to deliver to service. And then I have it broken into fixed costs.
Yeah, I need to.
Yeah.
I know.
You're good.
That's it.
Work on it.
I think.
Work on it. Working on it.
But if she has a passion for it,
But
she has a passion for it.
the videos, I guess, the videos was too-
Like she's probably, or she would probably need more. No, she was doing it with a consultant. So you know, they all
Now I
got
figure out, it's like.
$80,000 and we got 4.
So that's right.
Kidding-ish.
It's hard. It's real hard. Because if you're always trying to get like 15 things and
And then, you know, the biggest thing is like, I just need to prioritize.
I have no idea like what her, I can't remember what her background is.
I tried using this to help with that. What is it?
you use Trello?
No, but you know.
No, I use
Just can't do
Polio
that.
as far as.
Trello is pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it.
Oh, you are?
But Clay, do you use,
I use this.
Doesn't matter.
Facebook ads?
This is what we do.
No, only dabble with that.
Dabble, okay.
I think we might want to do it more.
Any ads at all?
This is my work log for my
Like
employees.
what's?
So when a phone call comes in, they type in what it is. Is it low,
You
is it high?
set a
Is it
budget.
interest, and like what?
You are.
I can have a whole process.
Right, you want to make
So,
sure
yeah,
you have the right word.
Yeah, so that's what we'll
So
ultimately
how much
use.
is that?
Okay.
Yeah, you set aside $50 or $100, whatever you want.
Yeah.
Whatever. And it will go off certain parameters that you tell it to.
Especially for automation.
So you'll
I
say
do
you target
for
to
some automation. There's
low or just someone who doesn't make this much money.
Yeah.
But like.
Show it to you actually. The algorithm they have.
It's actually, okay. So, but
It's still
like
regardless.
meetings,
You're
Right, if you get
I
zero.
go,
Yeah, if you have a crappy lead,
so in
I
this
think
meeting,
you
I
can just get message.
You just get less clicks, oh, it's like it fixed it.
These are all the categories.
So there is a
Like
fixed
modified
fee and then
template.
also per.
You could
click as
add
well.
all these
Okay.
different categories and just drag it over.
How much,
remove
so
it.
if you wanted to do
The
something like
biggest thing
this,
is
like
all
right
the-
here,
because you can,
how much do you think, like just an idea of how much you.
categories gives you the option to
Oh
do.
boy, so are you trying to,
automation.
what's your net?
Yeah, because the technology won't work outside.
Priority, what category, what kind of, is an
How
avatar.
is that based on like?
So.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah, you know, just ask, you know,
To make
you're
sure
not
you
getting as
follow
much
up.
on the end, it'd
Or
be harder
say
to.
you have a part-time
I mean,
employee.
I don't know, I think for
advertising
this, for.
And if they have a work life where they click advertise, it automatically can pull up.
I say Arizona.
Prices.
Focus on, yeah, Arizona.
Just maybe just Arizona.
Script of how to talk, so. Kind of yourself.
I don't know.
How quickly do you have any customers?
So.
I have a couple
I have,
of
well, here's the
customers.
CRM.
Part of the thing right now.
Yeah. It's really. No.
Yeah, I would think.
I had contacts, here's my company.
I've been in.
This is my greatest one right here.
You guys,
So when I answer it,
And that's from the
I actually,
people
that's
that,
when I do my marketing.
I was trying
So I
to
have my
impress
date,
property
what kind of touch
owners.
was it? Like, face to faces, and then I went to an
Hospitals.
email.
Yeah,
Those are
right.
School,
Here's all
all
these.
Uh-huh.
Help
No,
sell,
that kind of stuff.
country club, which like, your contacts.
So I know how to like kind of
First thing.
get in front of
So what,
those
but then I had
And I
triggers.
definitely, I mean, as much as you want
Because I
to
have 3
cast a
businesses.
big net,
Yeah, exactly.
that's really not as
Yeah.
efficient as school, especially for something that's so
So who buys
specialized.
it?
Yeah, exactly. That's a big-
You want to try to get those local ones, get in there and earn them in there, and put it in your portfolio, and you build
I have
on
a
that.
Right.
Like, for research hospital,
That's what I
I
Yeah.
student.
So really, I gotta do.
I think I was able to
Jason
just
was
go
like, oh my God, you know experience.
you know, you don't want to.
And then I got that. This is where it costs a little bit.
And no, everyone was talking about before I attached, so that's like.
Well, my team still be, but you can have outside vendors, like at the same time. You have one vendor. They can have, so it's like.
Because it's only as much as your willingness, but.
Yeah. So that's all. It doesn't take much of me for the audience.
You know, I've been doing stuff a while, and I asked like 3 years.
All right, folks. I'll let you out of here. Everybody has an experiment, except for maybe Brian. Everybody's got experiments. Adam's got like 12 people signed up now.
Yeah,
I got one more. Who else signed up? Pete. I'd like to sign up for that. Shove it in my face. Right? Okay. So I realize some of these experiments are more complex than going to be set up and done by Saturday. What I do want on Saturday is a report out of where you're at in the process with significant progress, right? I need to keep you moving because we only have 9 weeks, and this information is going to inform what you eventually pitch because there are going to be changes made. Because of the customer interviews and because of the experiment, you're going to alter your approach. You might alter your big idea. You're going to alter, things are going to change. It's good. We like change. Change is healthy. Okay? All right. Last minute questions? Anyone?
I want to say something.
Go.
Good. Congratulations to Food Route. Stop. You blew up my email on Monday because the McGuire Center for Entrepreneurs from U of A sent out their email blast of the week.
Mm-hmm.
And who's pretty little.
Hey, before I let you go, Courtney has something, I'm sure. Courtney? No? What was that post that you gave me?
Oh, it's Mara.
It was from Mara. Okay.
Yeah. I know some of you haven't filled it out. Listen, it's just gonna make your life easier and my life easier.
1 million cups.
The 1 million cups application.
Who hasn't done the 1 million cups application? Stick it up.
So just do it.
Done it?
Oh, so those are my dates.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Okay, that's fine. I know.
Between now.
Complete and perfect. I'm not even.
1
We're
million
gonna look
cups.
at it. You're already first. All you have to do is fill out and. So every Wednesday morning you come, you pitch your company, your why, your what, your how. This is your pitch that you're gonna do.
You're not. Right. And so that's how it was for people that all the hospitals got that. So she stayed in touch with them.
Well, you kind of pull yourself.
I actually even wrote kind of like cold emails to info. I'm actually doing like that. I'm a pretty good writer, so not too lengthy, but I really trust things. So I'm like, now I make it look like I've looked at them, so I'll say something like, I've been trying to do a great, match for a really good potential opportunity. To improve whatever it is they do, save money, be a green business, and
You have to listen to what I have to
whatever it
say.
is. So like the hospital, I have the quote things in there like moving the perception of what I know, really, something like that. And I was like, that's really helpful. Right to your faculty staff. So I would like visitors that will put you on what that is. Once I find okay. Yeah, I have actually. Just really do it like that. It's not as I thought that you were a great language.
Yeah.
You look at them. You don't like it. Feel in person. That's why the big dad.
pretty nice that I have well. You could easily go through and then change the words. I even on mine often put in like, like insert, so I'll just snap every insert.
Right.
Yeah, then once you get that.
Yeah, we have. Now for audience insights, we have.
But unlike demo day, it won't budge you to block.
No, it's on their phones. It's emailed and sent.
Because they have the opportunity to get front.
Oh, really?
So start with the
And it's also Thryve. You can always go back and forth.
And then I try. It can't because you can make that, so you have to look on the app. I love
Right now, there's a lot of, but it's
and then all of those things that go wrong.
Yes, I'd love to, somebody drop that. Well, I would like to,
Yeah.
Not like chat, but like, kind of like Facebook
Hi.
They're really going after big corporations. What I've seen.
Do you have a 1 million Pepsi Thryve staff?
Or just.
You have a 1 million Pepsi Thryve staff?
Really hear you with really chattering about
Bowling, probably be 5 years.
So you went through the wire?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What year?
Graduated.
Oh, and then,
Did you go there?
No, I was, I have, but I never seen the wire, but I knew. Most earliest I know were high percentage of the.
Oh my God, this is hard.
Yeah, I wanted to,
Yeah, okay.
So,
I want to do a start
It's actually.
Yeah.
How does the percentage really calculate?
Oh, so I.
That percentage, that's a big.
Drew, we're gonna wrap it up, man. Thank you.
All right, sounds good.
All right.